Did you know that the most famous action scene in cinema history was a total accident? Or that the lead actor was almost not Charlton Heston, but a completely different actor? We'll dive into those secrets and 20 more jaw-dropping facts about Ben-Hur in the next 9 minutes. So sit back and get ready to be amazed. Number 1. A movie so big, it bankrupted its studio. When MGM started Ben-Hur, the studio was already in financial trouble. They poured an unprecedented $15 million into the production, an insane gamble for the late 1950s. Executives feared it would bankrupt the studio if it failed, but the gamble paid off. The movie earned over $74 million worldwide, saving MGM from collapse. Number 2. The chariot race took 5 months to film. The most famous sequence in movie history, the chariot race, wasn't a quick stunt. It took 5 full weeks just to shoot the race itself, and over 5 months to plan, rehearse, and prepare. Nearly 15,000 extras filled the grandstands, and the crew built a full-scale racing arena modeled after ancient Roman circuses, the largest set ever constructed at that time. And this for a single 9-minute scene that became legendary. Number 3. Real death rumors around the chariot race. For decades, a bizarre rumor circulated that a stuntman actually died during the filming of the race, and the footage was left in the movie. While it made the scene even more chilling, but it is not true. In reality, no stuntmen were killed. The rumor stuck because the scene looked so brutally real. Number 4. Charlton Heston didn't know how to drive a chariot. When Charlton Heston signed on, he had zero experience with horses, let alone chariots. Trainers gave him crash course lessons in Italy, where he learned to control a 4-horse team. What's weird is how quickly he mastered it. Within weeks, Heston was so skilled that he insisted on driving most of his own race scenes. His authentic performance added intensity no stuntman could fake. Number 5. The set was so huge, it looked like a real ancient city. The chariot arena built at Cinecittà Studios in Rome was so massive, it could be seen from airplanes. Covering over 18 acres, it was the largest movie set ever made at the time. It required 1,000 workers and 1 million pounds of plaster to complete. Locals who lived near the studio joked that Rome had actually rebuilt part of its ancient circus. Number 6. An Oscar record that stood for decades. Ben-Hur won 11 Academy Awards, a record that stood unchallenged until Titanic. But here's the weird part. Even though it dominated the Oscars, it didn't win Best Writing. The script itself lost to Room at the top. Imagine making a movie so powerful that it won nearly every award, except the one for its actual story. Number 7. The sound of the race was made from unusual sources. The thunderous noise of the chariot race wasn't just real horses. Sound designers got creative. They recorded whip crack, gunfire, and even car crashes, then layered them with horse hooves to build the terrifying realism of the scene. So when you hear the chaos of the race, you're actually listening to a blend of ancient horsepower and modern-day engines. Number 8. The costumes were painstakingly authentic. Designer Elizabeth Haffenden oversaw more than 100,000 costumes, from soldiers' armor to peasants' robes. And the weird part is that they aged costumes with tea, wine, and dirt to make them look lived in. Extras sometimes complained because they had to wear the same unwashed costumes for weeks, making the smell of history very real on set. Number 9. A hidden relationship between characters. Screenwriter Gore Vidal later claimed that he secretly wrote Judah Ben-Hur and Messala as former lovers turned enemies, though this was never openly acknowledged in the film. Boyd reportedly played his role with that motivation in mind, while Heston was kept unaware. Number 10. MGM recycled the props for a biblical epic. After Ben-Hur wrapped, MGM didn't want the massive sets and props to go to waste. Many of the Roman costumes, swords, and decorations were reused in other films, including biblical epics like King of Kings 1961. So, if you watch carefully, you'll notice some of Judah Ben-Hur's world appearing again in entirely different movies. Number 11. Charlton Heston was almost not Ben-Hur. Believe it or not, Charlton Heston wasn't the first choice for Judah Ben-Hur. Producers initially considered actors like Rock Hudson, Paul Newman, and Burt Lancaster. Newman famously turned it down, saying he didn't look good in a toga. Only later did Heston get the role, and his commanding presence defined the character forever. Number 12. Horses were treated like movie stars. The 78 horses used in the chariot race were flown in from Yugoslavia and given special treatment on set. Each horse had its own trainer, and many even had personalized feeding schedules. The animals were so carefully handled that some critics later said the horses gave better performances than certain actors. Number 13. A rare left-handed crucifixion. In the crucifixion sequence, the actor portraying Jesus is shown carrying the cross left-handed. This subtle detail was historically researched. Scholars believed Jesus might have carried it this way. It's one of those blink-and-you-miss-it moments that shows how much attention to detail the filmmakers demanded. Number 14. MGM built a miniature circus for safety tests. Before filming the chariot race full-scale, the crew built a small-scale replica of the circus arena. They tested horse movements with toy chariots and figurines to figure out how crashes might look. It was basically an ancient Roman NASCAR simulation, decades before CGI. Number 15. The sea battle was shot in a tank. The dramatic naval battle with Roman galleys colliding and sinking wasn't filmed at sea. It was shot inside a giant water tank at Cinecittà Studios. Miniature ships were used for the wide shots, while life-sized boats were built for the close-ups. To create waves, giant propellers churned the water like a storm. Number 16. Stephen Boyd's golden armor was painfully heavy. The gleaming golden armor worn by Stephen Boyd as Messala looked powerful on screen, but it was torture in real life. The armor was so heavy and rigid that Boyd often needed assistance just to sit down between takes. At one point, he joked that his biggest acting challenge wasn't delivering lines, it was breathing inside that armor. Number 17. The most famous action shot was an accident. During the chariot race, there's a moment when Ben-Hur's chariot nearly flips after hitting a barrier, and he's thrown forward. That heart-stopping shot wasn't scripted. It was a real accident caught on film. The stuntman miraculously survived, and the footage was so authentic and dramatic that the director decided to leave it in. Today, it's considered one of the most iconic action moments in cinema history. Number 18. 1 million gallons of water were used. Between the sea battle and various flood and rain sequences, the production consumed an estimated 1 million gallons of water. Special pumps recycled water through the massive sets, and local authorities had to monitor usage to make sure Rome didn't run short. Number 19. An extra got arrested for stealing a prop. With thousands of extras on set, security was a constant headache. One man tried to sneak home with a Roman helmet as a souvenir, but he was caught at the studio gates and arrested. The helmet was returned, and MGM joked that even the props were too valuable to lose. Number 20. The movie inspired modern blockbuster standards. Here's the strangest fact of all. Ben-Hur didn't just win awards. It changed how movies were made. Its massive scale, months of rehearsal, and record-breaking budget inspired later blockbusters like Gladiator and Titanic. Without Ben-Hur, Hollywood might never have developed the idea of the event movie we know today.